Good morning. It is day number 167. Yesterday, I walked 29,759 steps. And this morning, you know it, I'm back on track for another 24,000 steps or 12 miles. You know, through all the obstacles I face making these videos each day, there's one device in my home that does not go to sleep. It's always awake when I walk by, and that's my thermostat. It said it was 27 degrees out this morning. So the cuteness is gone. I got the beanie cap on. I got the gloves on this morning, which I'm in the market for a good pair of electric gloves. Those are gloves lined with some type of coil that are battery powered to keep my hands nice and toasty. Man, the challenge just gets a little greater every single day. I want to start this video off by recommending a video that I just made this morning, and the thumbnail has discipline splayed across it. This morning I knocked out 100 push-ups, filmed it, talked about it, edited it, and uploaded it before my walk. Yesterday, if you watched my video, for one, I appreciate you. But it just filmed my shadow in the sidewalk the entire time in the street. And while the message was powerful, it didn't capture what it was supposed to. You need to be able to see my beautiful face. So I put that new discipline in place to make sure that the good habit is now set and that there's a consequence for it. If I don't carry out that good habit, I need to make sure that my framing is proper so that by the time I get done with the 45 to 50 minute video, and when I edit it down to 40 minutes, it's not just facing the ground. You know what I mean? It's not doing that. So that's the goal. That's the plan. I want to make sure that y'all know that you know that I know that your time is valuable, and that's not going to happen again. That's not what we do over here at Brandon Alexander Walks. We walk, you watch me walk, and you watch me talk and listen and get something good out of it. That's what I'm here to provide. Almost 6 months deep, guys. Almost 6 months deep. I'm seeing some amazing changes in the mirror, in the way my clothes fit. I had someone ask me a question this morning from one of my videos about tracking progress outside of the scale. And while I left them a reply, I think this would be a good place to let you know also just a couple of the other things that I do to track my progress when the scale isn't quite cooperating. So we all have that one outfit in the closet. You know the one that fits tight, you know, the one that you bought and you're like, should I get an XL? No, I'm gonna get the large. And then you put it on and, man, you say, you know what, this isn't fitting the way I thought it would fit. Maybe I should have went for the XL. That outfit. That's the outfit I keep to test where I'm at. When the scale says the same number over and over and over again for maybe a week or two at a time. Because I have seen long-tailed plateaus where the number on the scale didn't change, and I'm thinking I'm not making progress when I actually am. You see, because when you're losing weight, you could be losing fat, you could be losing muscle, you could be losing a combination of both, water weight. There's so many different variables, but a good marker is how your clothes fit. I put on a shirt yesterday, shout out SC. My mom went there And man, that boy was baggy. It was an XL and it used to fit me kind of tight. But now, I'm slowing down. I'm feeling good. And while the weight difference is reflected on the scale, it's also reflected in those clothes, just, the looseness, the way that it fits. I'm down to a medium size short now from a large. I'm down to a large size shirt from an XL. So the XLs, they're baggy. It's got the older dad vibes now for me. So I gotta throw on, something that fits a little bit better, because I'm putting the work in to get to that point where I can wear that stuff. And it makes me happy, to be honest. Because I know that the work that I'm putting in is paying off. Every single morning that I wake up and get out here and walk, just another notch on my belt. If I was wearing an actual belt, I'd have to put some new holes in it because the old ones just wouldn't fit. So this is like one of the most rewarding journeys I could be on, because I'm seeing the results every single day. I'm loving the progress and the gift of showing up for myself and knowing what discipline actually is. Because I remember what it was like without it. I certainly I'd be on this roller coaster. I would be starting again and again and again and again. That gets old. You see what happens with most people, because there's usually an activity or an outing tied to why they want to get in shape. They'll hit that outing and then, they backslide once they get to that outing. Say it's a wedding. What is typically present at a wedding? A bunch of unhealthy food, alcohol. It's a big party. Why not celebrate? Why not erase all the progress you just made? Right? Everyone else is doing it. But that's the trap that we fall into every single time. And when you build a discipline and it's not just something temporary, you give yourself the chance to really grow, really just change your life for the better. These lifestyle changes are really something else. They really are. Like, no time limits to this. Like, what I think of when I think lifestyle change, I think about the people that I saw in Tokyo when I was up at 3:30 in the morning walking around, and they were up, but they were definitely in their 70s or 80s. They were up walking around. I take examples from my surroundings, the good ones. I see people shooting up. I don't take that example. I see people sniffing stuff. I don't take that example. I take the examples of people that are improving themselves every single day. And they're out there no matter what. Age isn't a factor. Any condition or situation that you find yourself in, with enough time and determination, you can pull yourself right out of it. I am my own proof. I never thought I could get back here again. The last time I lost this much weight was 2011, I want to say. I had made a decision. I saw a picture of myself at a Super Bowl party. I was kind of shocked. It was eye-opening. Like, wait a minute, that's me? How come nobody told me? They just let me walk around like this? But the fact of the matter was, my brother was trying to get me to work out. You know, you can only say so many things to someone and not sound, I guess, mean or hurt someone's feelings, but sometimes you gotta hurt them to help them. Or she would have just said, look, man, you gotta go. Because you ain't looking right, brother. Your health looks like it's sliding downhill, and pretty soon you're gonna need a doctor and that bag of pills. But, I mean, he made an effort. You know, I realize it now. Like I said, I do a lot of reflecting on these walks. A whole lot of reflecting. I am not perfect. I am not perfect. I just want to be the best me I can be. But back to that 2011, I saw that picture a day or two after Super Bowl, and I thought, wow, man, I got to get to work. You know, that time around, I realized now I did it the wrong way. So I was counting calories, but I wasn't consuming the right type of calories. I was going hard. If you have ever been to Los Angeles, there is a trail called Runyon Canyon. So here's what my routine was. I would go in the morning, I'd go to Runyon Canyon. There were a multitude of different trails, and they had this really difficult trail that just went right up the side of the mountain. And then like a more casual trail. So I would run down the trail and then come back around, and I'd get to the very difficult part, and I'd hike up that part. And sometimes I'd go 2 or 3 times. Then I would go to the gym. I'd set the treadmill to the highest incline, and I would walk for an hour. And the treadmill reflected I burned 1,000 calories with that activity. I'd do an hour at 4 miles an hour. Then I'd go hit weights, and then I'd do a 15 to 20 mile bike ride every day. Extreme, I know. And on top of that, I was counting calories. But I wasn't consuming the right stuff. But between February and August of that year, I think I lost something like 50 or 55 pounds. And I was psyched, but I didn't really create any new disciplines. I was thin for a while. I didn't have the build that I wanted. You know, I didn't have the pop and muscles. I was still kind of skinny fat, still had the man boobs, still the insecurities, you know, even after all that hard work. So the necessity for discipline now is extremely evident. Like, I understand why it's necessary. Clearing the cloudiness of drinking. It's just been such a blessing. Like, I can't say it enough. I feel for people that are addicted to alcohol, addicted to marijuana, addicted to different drugs. I feel for them. It's not an accident. It doesn't happen by accident. Stuff is designed to get you addicted. We're a capitalist society. More dollars, more dollars, more dollars. And if you're addicted, you won't think twice about spending. Think about cigarettes. That's a thing that people know when they buy the pack. It's killing them slowly every single day, and the people around them in their close proximity. If they smoke anyways, there's addictive chemicals in it. And even though it's been told, like, once cigarettes have that hold of someone, you know, it's got it for good. Sad, man. That's not the reality that I would want to be in. Fortunately, I never started smoking cigarettes. You know, but I did start drinking alcohol. I understand now why you shouldn't start drinking alcohol at a young age. It's fun. But fun at what expense? My brain was likely still developing at 15 years old. And while a lot of people say, hey man, you're really smart, and I consider myself a smart guy, I'm able to figure things out relatively quickly. When it comes to math or something numbers based, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I kill it. Percentages, fractions, adding, subtraction, multiplication. I can knock it out on the spot, but maybe I could be a bit better. I'll never know. We don't have the luxury of going back in time. I wish we did. I do feel like I'm aging backwards right now, just by making sure I get these walks in. Walks are so paramount to my health and my success. I want to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor, enjoy building this YouTube channel up to the point where it replaces my income. That day is coming. I see it. I can feel it. I can almost touch it. Just not quite. But you know what'll still be around? Is this video for me to look back on when I was talking about the concept of YouTube bringing in the kind of money that I can bring you more and more awesome destinations and cool things to look at on these walks. These walks are something that I personally have signed up for the rest of my life. If I want to be mobile, if I want to live a full life, a fulfilling life, that's what I feel like I need to do. So I'm gonna do it. It's simple. It may not be easy, but it is absolutely simple. It is the simplest thing that I can do with my life, with my time. I feel so blessed. Like to wake up before 40, I'm psyched. I'm also so happy for the people that never started drinking, never started doing drugs. Like, what a gift that is. Because you don't know what you don't know. If you're not exposed to it, you won't miss it at all. You can actually live that amazing life that you're meant to live. This thing is a gift. Every single breath I take, every fast and slow heartbeat, it's a gift. And while I used to take it for granted, I don't anymore. I know it can be over today. I'm not thinking about tomorrow, I'm just thinking about today. But if I don't put as much experience and effort into today as I can, the day is wasted. I love that I get a new opportunity every single day to show up. I love that, like, it's just me versus me. It's my good habits versus my bad habits. It's the devil and the angel sitting on my shoulders. Who's gonna win out? What's gonna win out? Good or bad? I'm gonna pick good. Said it before in previous video, but I've had enough fun. I've lived through enough fun experiences for a few lifetimes. I've spent 3 or 4 years of my life traveling. Like, I looked at Google Timeline, which, if you don't know what that is, that's Google tracking you everywhere you go. I got a Galaxy phone back in 2010 or 2011, and, you know, unbeknownst to me, it was saving every single picture as well as every single location I went to. And I didn't discover that until like 2017 or 2018. I didn't even realize it was recording everything and recording everywhere I went. But I'm grateful it was. Like, it is what it is. These companies are going to track us regardless. You think now that you turn your phone off and it's actually off and they can't record you. No, that's not the case. You think that, you can dodge their tracking while using a different browser. Nah, they already have some programs installed on your computer you don't even know about. They know you. They got you. They got me. It is what it is. Whatever. The luxury behind it is I'll be able to go back. I just upgraded to 2 terabytes of memory. It was spending $100 a year on storage. But it's worth it to me because I'll always be able to go back and recall my memories. That's something I'm building right now. It's like a video yearbook. Right now we're working on 2024. And I'll have a catalog of all of the mornings that I spent out doing things. I don't plan on having kids, but my brother's having a kid. And be able to show him some of the things that I did. The discipline that I formed to get out here and go for a really long walk every single morning. This was kind of an example that was set by most recently my mom, and then even earlier in my life, my grandfather on my dad's side. I didn't get to meet his actual dad, but I got to meet his stepdad. His name, we called him Pop-Pop. And he was a longshoreman. So he worked on the ships down in San Pedro, California. And my grandmother lived in San Pedro, California before she passed. This was like when I was a little guy. But we would go on these walks. They seemed like really long walks. We'd go to the donut shop. The name of the place was Christie's Donuts. We would pull up. My favorite was the glazed donut with the apple crumbs on it, or I don't know if it's apple or something else, but it's got like these, it's probably brown sugar now that I think of it, but it's got these crumbs on it. And that was my favorite donut. I forget what everyone else's was because I was just so focused on mine. But I remember those walks. Like, all this stuff sets up a foundation for moving forward. This is part of the reflection. I want to show you guys this view as I'm walking down the street, by the way. This is part of this reflection that I experience every single day when I'm walking. It's a gift. It is absolutely a gift. To be able to do this without any ailments. I realize that 38 is still a very young age. I'm going to be 39 soon. I'm looking forward to 40. I want to be 40. I want to make it to 40. I'm going to have the best body I've ever had in my life. Even better than when I was in the womb, when I could do 300 backflips. Better than that. Can you believe it? Like, what? So the goal of today's morning walk, since I got out later because I filmed that extra video, is to showcase a nice sunrise. I made a post about this earlier this week. This part of the sunrise is called Civil Twilight. It lasts about 20 to 30 minutes each morning, and it's when the colors of the sky just come alive. This is my favorite part of the morning. It's like a reward from God directly to me every single day for getting up. My life is relatively easy. It is. I was born here in the United States. I'm so grateful. Yes, there are challenges that I have to deal with, but I've seen the other side of the coin. get it. But being able to do this, get out here and walk relatively safely, and not have to worry about crime or violence or, a multitude of different things. I've got a nice place I stay at. It's all just a blessing. But to be able to get out here and walk every single day, catch these civil twilight sunrises, makes me smile. It really does. I've shifted my focus from a life filled with things to a life filled with experiences. It may or may not ever happen for you, and that's okay. I want you to know on this channel, I'm never going to be the guy that's trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm just sharing experiences of what I've learned along my journey, things that I would and wouldn't do again. I have regrets. I regret that I spent so long drinking, seeing life through a cloudy lens, through beer goggles. I didn't experience this beautiful part of the morning on purpose. Sometimes I'd pull an all-nighter and I would wreck my next day. Or I'd push through if I was in Vegas and go to a nightclub, binge drink, and then get up and go to a day club and binge drink there. All for what? Spend a ton of money, rob myself from my future. I'm so happy to have woken up. Finally, I'm up. I'm not spending my nights staying up too late so that I can't do this. Anytime anyone puts that limitation on themselves, I just kind of shake my head. I don't even respond. Man, I can't do that because I just don't have enough time. I hear that all the time. It's a joke. It is an absolute joke. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. It's just about how you use them. Since I started really being disciplined about getting these videos posted every single day, my Netflix usage has went way down. That used to be something I watched all the time. All these different streaming apps, I cancel them because I'm not even watching this stuff anymore. Not even the way you say, I don't even know why I have all these channels. I only watch 2 or 3. I don't watch it at all. I'm on the road. I'm filming videos in the morning. I'm editing them. I'm uploading them. And then I'm going to work. And then at night, I come home and go to sleep. I'm tired. I feel fulfilled in my day. I actually did something worthwhile, and I didn't binge watch a show that I'm going to forget a month from now. And then they come out with another one. The number has changed, by the way. It used to be 300 active shows that were out. Now it's thousands. You have all these platforms, and not every show is a good show. You got Tubi, for example. These are people's home movies. At least it looks like that to me. I've seen some on these different websites and, just little clips. I'm like, man, I'm feeling that. It's a little, no disrespect to the Tubi filmmakers, but they know what they're putting out. I don't want to put out a product that I'm not in love with. And if I do, it's just to show you my failures, to share my failures with you, just like I share my wins. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not all civil twilight sunrises. We'll push this guy over here so you can see forward. The greatest gift that a lot of people take for granted. These absolutely breathtaking sunrises. Or to see the cap of Aria in the distance. I don't know if you can see that white glowing light, if it'll come through on the camera or not, straight ahead. But to see these casinos, it's amazing to me too that like I could move to a city like this and make the decision to quit drinking. This is that city, man. This is that city where if you want to do it, this is the place. 24 hours a day. It's where you could come to be a professional. I just saw the writing on the wall. I knew that if I got wrapped up in that out here, I certainly wouldn't be making these videos. I know these videos are gonna help change the course of someone's life. It's something I wish I had when I was 15. Not that like I didn't have people saying, hey, you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. But no one shared their own life experience with me to let me know why. And while the why may not be as important, you know, as a youngster, you want to rebel. Someone says zig, you want to zag. They say go left, you want to go right. You crave that independence. That's all you want for yourself is your own thoughts. You want your own actions. You don't want to be in someone else's shadow. It's all understandable. I'm not super hard on myself that I started. Everyone else was doing it. I'm just glad that I'm not part of that anymore. Reflecting. Anytime I get quiet, man, I'm just thinking about just my life, man. I'm also thinking about how my fingers is freezing. I'm surprised I can even move them right now. I never thought I would find so much joy in coming out and walking and talking to the camera. One of the things I used to do when I walked 10 miles a day back in Lancaster, California, is I would check in at the halfway point. You know, I'd hold my phone up. You know, I'd say, hey guys, I'm at the halfway point. That was my 5-mile turnaround spot. And then I'd come on back. And I did that over and over and over again. But even though I had bought a 360 camera, like I had the idea, I just didn't have the discipline to film the whole thing. And it is interesting, it's fascinating. You know, over the past few days, I've been looking to see if someone is doing something just like this. You know, just showing the daily show up, the daily discipline, so that you could just mimic that. It's easy to copy what someone else is doing. I realize that that's why I'm doing this, because I want it to be easy for you to get started. And I also want it to be easy for you to understand that you can actually do it. I'm not running, guys. I'm just walking. Whatever your pace is, it will be beneficial. Like there's no world that exists where if you exert energy, you're not going to burn calories. And if you just keep going and going and going, you'll realize the body that you want to realize. I'm not in a rush. I say this all the time, but I also am. I can't wait to get to the point where I have the body that I've been walking toward, the body that I've been working out for, because then we can reference videos like this and say, hey, look, back on day 167, I wasn't there yet. I hadn't reached this point yet. there's a lot of days and there's a lot of time in between the you that you're not happy with and the you that you're in love with. Like, health and physical fitness is like the cornerstone of happiness. Know you can overcome any obstacle. This morning I sat down on my butt, Indian style. And while I can't touch my thighs to the ground, I was still able to do it. That's a win for me. I know that there are some people my age that might sit down like that and not be able to get up without help. I can appreciate that. But it's about making changes. I found that when I still was on Instagram, I just made my final post yesterday or the day before to let people know I'm on this platform now and forever. But when I realized that the algorithm just feeds you more of what you look at primarily. But toward the end, I was looking at people that were on a fitness journey. So I got constant examples of that. And that was one of the good things that came from that platform, because I was able to see other people working on themselves. I was able to see people reaching peak physical fitness. I wasn't just seeing the dad bod example. I'm not going to be a dad. And even if I was, I'm not having a baby. So what excuse do I have? Zero. This is the accountability season for me. This is a season where I don't let myself off the hook. No way, man. No way. We're almost to Durango. And what I'll do is, I gotta actually do it, is flip the camera so that we can just both walk toward, I'll stay on this street, but so that we can just walk toward the sunrise together. I'll figure out a good turning point. I usually don't go this way, but since, like I said, I started a little bit later because I filmed that other video and posted it, now we get to experience this civil twilight together. Something that we typically wouldn't be able to do, because I start these videos at the beginning of my walk, and then I put on a mile mark and get back home and work on editing. Now we get to see this orange sky, and then it fades to blue with the mountains in the distance. I can see a pyramid up there. And we got every country. We're repping every country here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Got the pyramid. We got Italy. We got Rome, Caesar's Palace. We've got it all. Who would have thought there's one city you could go to and just get to all of it, and you go inside and the opulence is just crazy. Everything is so grand. Like the MGM Grand. You got that big lion, big gold dog. Everything is just larger than life here. You know what? I think I'll walk down Durango. And since this camera is on a selfie stick, I can kind of just hold it up along the fence post, and then you can see it. Yeah. I feel like I had some jaywalking in my future, but you set a little bit of a good example. You know what? Never mind. I'm jaywalking. Kids, don't do this. All right, see, I put the disclaimer out there. I'm a responsible guy. All right, so now we're just gonna capture views walking by. I believe this is a landfill. And you'll see some trees in the mix, but feel free to look out into the distance. As we pass the trees here, I'll get you a nice picturesque shot. So there's Allegiant Stadium there. Then it goes, and this is from, it's probably gonna be from your left, but if it's from your right, either way, I'm starting with Allegiant Stadium. That's the one that's the shortest, and it's lit up with white lights. And then you've got Mandalay Bay and Delano. That's the large gold building. And then next to that, you've got the Luxor. That's the pyramid. We went to Egypt today. What? You got Excalibur next to that. And then on our side of the strip, like the side that's closest to us, we've got New York, New York, then Park MGM. Then we've got Aria, then Vidara, then the Cosmopolitan. Let's see here. What else do we have? We have Caesar's Palace, Bellagio, Resorts World, the old Mirage, which is getting either blowed up or completely remodeled. And then toward the end of the strip, we've got the Stratosphere, and there's something in between, Ahern, which is a hotel, not a casino, but a hotel. And there's a lot of other casinos. Fontainebleau, Palazzo Venetian, Wynn, Encore. This is all off the top of the dome, guys. If you want to clap, you can clap. I've spent way too much time here just visiting. You got planes like coming in and leaving in the distance. Look at that sky though, man. Just so beautiful. I don't take these things for granted anymore. Like, yeah, they're free. You know, it's not like a free stack of pancakes at IHOP. Like, this is on a whole nother level. Look at like the sun just reflecting off the clouds right above the mountaintop. That range looks nice and jagged. You know, from here, it looks like it's a range I could just skate right across. You know, maybe take a little BMX bike and hit some of those jumps. There's a plane up in the distance there, right above Mandalay Bay, coming on in. I've come into this city from every single angle you can imagine, like every approach angle, because I travel so much. I've come in from the West Coast, and then they've looped back around, like as if I'm coming in from the East, coming from the North, from San Francisco. I mean, every angle you can imagine, every approach angle. Coming from South America, from Mexico. So, I've seen it all. And I love the simplicity, but also the complexity of this town. All of the moving parts that are necessary to make this windmill run. I think you can still see the side. I'll look when I'm editing this and see if it comes up nicely. I've got the camera above the fence line, and while it may be blocked by a bit of trees, you know, it's like to experience that civil twilight. Isn't it something great? Like, I know some people that have never been up before the sun came up. Like, never. Not even once. And you may think it's overrated. You're entitled to your opinion. But it's a gift I absolutely have not squandered all year long. I'm waking up every day this year at 3 o'clock in the morning. For a few reasons, to prove, you know, what's possible. Anything is possible that I want to do, because I have big financial goals, huge ones, So if I don't believe anything is possible, like waking up at 3 a.m, if I thought this was a obstacle I couldn't overcome, there's no way I can amass the fortune that's coming my way. Absolutely no way. If I let getting up a little earlier get in my way, if that was an obstacle I considered to be an obstacle, there's no way I could achieve any of this stuff that I'm achieving right now. The milestones, the goals. I'm so happy I got to share this sunrise that I absolutely did not create with y'all this morning. You know, on this channel, it's just about kind of showing you the ins and outs of this discipline. Showing you what's possible when you say enough is enough. It's time to put this work in. It's time to start living my life through my eyes, through my lens, and not through other people's lens. It's time to go out there and be great. Well, I know I'm getting to the long time, and I know you have things to do today. This is my thing to do this morning. I'm walking 12 miles, no big deal. So if you made it this far in the video, I'd like you to leave the word civil for civil twilight, because hopefully you learned something new about this part of the sunrise this morning. And I really hope to see you in tomorrow's video, or one this week or this month, or whatever the case, whatever your time allows for. I want to give you a huge thanks for following my journey and coming along with me when it's dark, when it's cold, when it's hot, all of the above in this city or whatever city I happen to be in. I'm so grateful for you. And until tomorrow, I'm Brandon Alexander. Have a wonderful day.